All right, hey there, welcome back, guys. We're live. We might be live, we might not be live, but I'm still alive. But we're gonna go to YouTube and see. Apparently, Streamlabs has not been working properly this week, but it is right now. You have to log out, log back in, delete the app, install the app. But without any further ado, let's get started. We have the FNIRSI sort of multimeter oscilloscope tester. I don't recommend using it as a multimeter because you just simply can't. On our last live stream, we were testing it out on components on the board, and a multimeter will allow you to test the components on the board. For example, we have a board right here from a radio that we built. We're actually going to build a new radio because, as you can see, according to Moore's law, everything just gets smaller. So if we go here, if we go into Me Stuff, so as you can see, the original chip is so huge, right? And look, they downsized it. They made a little tiny. They made the chip smaller and better, hopefully, in that sense. But point is that if you take a regular multimeter and put it on any other components while soldered, you'll still get a connection. So what we'll do is we'll just test that out really quick if we can. We have a multimeter over here. And sweet, who's that? I didn't hear no bells. What's up, Swedish Forge? I'm just going over the multimeter since we didn't have a more in-depth, and Brian had helped us, and he was like, no, don't do that, don't do this, and then, etc. So this is great because this channel would not be possible without you guys, especially like Swedish Forge, right? Or like Brian's Labs, who occasionally shows up. And then we have Ken, and then we have Bob, and then we have Midnight Off-Road Runner, and then we have Markaby, So anyway, point is that, as you can see here, thanks you guys. Great having you again, Swedish Forge. Check out his channel if you love 3D printing, or who knows, maybe if you have a problem, he might provide you a solution. If you're lucky. If not, that's okay. Just watch and learn, because most likely he'll be here on the live stream sharing his expertise. See, we have here, get a nice little reading. We have here, and we have there. Anyway, you kind of get the idea. And then this one, the R6. Let's see. We have a meter right here. Should get a reading with this 4.35. Okay, and then we have here 0.9, which is fine. Anyway, you kind of get the idea. Knowing that, moving forward, let's get this baby out of the way, and we'll use that another time. So as you can see, we have our little prongs right here, Swedish Forge. I have filmed and painted life-size Spider-Man. Wow, I can't wait to check it out. Send us the picture. And in the meantime, let me just do this one really quick, and then we'll jump on again. You can have a LED tester. The short side of the LED is the negative side. Okay. And then we should be able to take the red side and put it right there. See? And then press OK. See, and a LED will light up. See that? I wonder if I can. Kind of neat, huh? And it tells you what it is, and it has some, variable numbers there. That's for your LED. It also does capacitance, does transistors, and other fun parts for your electronics / components. And then we should get a symbol of a capacitor. Remember, the short side is the negative side. And you see how you have here capacitor, right? Which is great. But if we go back to M tester, see it goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, and then KAA, and then etc. So you want to make sure that, see we have 1 here, and then we have 1 in the 2 because the sequence starts over again, and then we have 3. That's our setup for here, but you figure out whatever works right for you. And as you can see, we got capacitance, and last but least, this is really nice because it's not touch screen, but I kind of like it better than using the multimeter and trying to, as you saw, put the tongs on the board and just the magic not happening. So now This one says it's a 10K, but let's see what we get. Ah, 10K. Now it's not always going to be 10K. Maybe you get like 9.9, etc. I mean 900, you know, whatever, 900. Well, you get the idea. But it's not always going to be to the fullest extent. Might say, you know, be off by a couple of digits, and that's how that works. Okay. You have attachments that come with it, which are right here. That I'm going to show you how they work. The only thing it didn't come with, this actually came separate. So special thanks to Ed again for this. But anyway, I'll go over everything so that you guys can see. Okay. So we're going to build the radio next week. This week we're just going over everything. But yeah, we are going to build the radio on a live stream too. This is the BNC cable. This is this black thing that comes with it. Oh, sorry, we'll do one cable at a time so there's no confusion. All right, so this is it right here. See that? And see that? And it also has a ground. The ground may or may not be connected, but the ground goes right there. And you just take it, pop it in, and it goes like that. Now you have your ground. This pulls off like that. See? It didn't have a spring, but I believe the spring is 4 point something. If we go here, so again, for those of you who missed it, just want to put that there. Just pull it, and it comes off. But it's supposed to be a spring here with a ground, the extension thingy. But if you don't know the size, we have a digital caliper, and this is for this unit. Each one is different. So don't assume like, oh, I have that one. No, it doesn't work like that. So if we go here, right, and then close it, 4.7, so we round it off to 4.5. Yep, 4.5. See that? It's 4.5. So if you want to buy the spring on Amazon, I think it's a $6 part, or you can send it back. In our case, we can't send it back since it was sent to us. So you have here, see that? And then you have here, this connection here. This one's a little bit tricky because what you want to do is push this down, right? And then turn it. See that? And you want to do this first before putting it on. You don't want to put it on and then do it from there. So we're going to put this on the side. I'm going to put this on my lap, right? And then so that you guys can see, and move this out of the way so there aren't any distractions. But as you can see here, we push this in, push it down, right? So that it can fall in. So this part's a little bit, there's like a little hole. Follow the holes, see? Holes here, and then holes there. Just 2 holes on each side, and then pull it up and drop it, right? And then push it up and then turn it down. And now it's locked in. Now you can put this into this one. This is the oscilloscope. So we'll do the oscilloscope part first, and then now what you do is you'll go into the menu. Before I go into the menu, I'm just going to go over the parts it comes with. So see, it has here the this thing has there the ground lead, and then hook that goes to the BNC cable, adjustment tool, ground spring, which we don't have, it never came with it. Locating sleeve. Locating sleeve just allows you to pinpoint certain areas without, using the long tongue thingies. I'll show you that in a second. And ring markers. Ring markers would be if you have more than one oscilloscope and you want to not confuse yourself. And so here go the ring markers, or this thing right here. So this goes on like that, right? These little yellow things, and then let's say, oh, I want to touch right in there without like messing anything up, and you can actually, which is pretty cool. But you just need your ground, right? All right, so knowing that, moving forward, we'll just move this radio out of the way. So we'll put this back on. Whoops, first you got to take that off. And then you have your ring markers. So if you have more than one, you just label it. But for me, I'm not going to be doing anything crazy with them, so I'm just going to put a blue one. Looks nice to match everything. Maybe red, right? It's like can't have so much blue going on. So now those rings go right here, so you know where you know, where you are, where you're going. And so these are, they just pull out, and then it's a little tricky, but we make these videos so you don't have to. There we go. See? And now you know what's what. But for your basic use, you can pick a color and just leave it on there if you're not going to be doing anything crazy. And as you can see, that's separate from this. Inside there is like a little spring thing action happening, and that allows you to grasp onto the tongs. And as you can see there, we're in oscilloscope mode. So to be in oscilloscope mode, you go here to the menu, select oscilloscope, and you're not going to see a wave because DC current is direct current, so it's flat. So you know, if that makes any sense. Oh nice, there's something in here, which is fine. And if we want to see a wave, what we can do is, I have mine set to 500 millihertz, X10, 200 milliseconds, which means that we just slowed it down. And then we have the AC. If you put it on an AC and then turn something like a radio on, you'll be able to see a wave. But remember, the ground always has to be on the ground, right? And then we have here, and then if we push this out like this, we're not gonna, remember, we're not, DC is direct current, so we're not gonna get anything. But if we turn it on, it's gonna get a little loud. Hopefully there's no music playing. Oh, I take that back. It's not going to get loud because the battery is, oh no, battery's not dead. Somewhat dead. Let's see what we have here. No. Nothing's coming out. Oh, there we go. And then if we hit run, auto, it is on auto. Let's see. Press run. Usually you would get a wave. Is it in? Hold on, just make sure this is in. Whoops. Oh, no wonder why the other lead isn't connected. Okay. This one has to go all the way in. But you know what? Let's leave it like that. Usually there would be a wave. Oh, see, it's not. It's like loose. See that? That shouldn't be like that. Make sure it's... Is it on? Yeah, it is on. And the ground's connected. 500 millihertz. Usually you get a wave. I believe these are the settings for the wave. Hold on. Let me just double check that. Who's that? Lou, I must go. See you later. Yeah, we will see you later, Swedish Forge. Thanks for coming by. We can't wait to see you again. But we'll be back. Tomorrow we have your Donkey Kong. We're going to paint it, which is just great. I hope you're going to be there for that. Let me just go to my photos because I had the settings saved in the photos. So on that note, we have 50 millivolts. Hold on. One X, it doesn't even go to 50. We have one, we goes from 10. Okay, we have 1X, and then this one goes to 200. Maybe now we can get, well, there we go, 50. And then we have here AC, and then run. Now we should get like a wave. Hold on, let me see. You know, just by changing the default settings, we'll turn that on. There we go. See? Yay, we got a wave. So that's that. You know, if you know how to play with the settings, that's great. Or if you do, and that's just for this, you know, just to give you an idea that it does work, right? Alright, so that takes care of that. Let's shut that off. Just if you plan to remake this video, just know if you have music playing that it will be copyright stricken or strucken, you know, so just be careful with that. That's why we have static, but we're still able to create a wave. You can still use it for other things. So let's see what we have here. I'm gonna go, you could use it to test LEDs and diodes, but honestly, put it into this one, and then you hear that beep, and if we go here, right, remember negative is ground. Whoops, this part's tricky. So if we go here, put that like that. Again, it's better to just use the other one, you know, the one down below. And then if we go, because you still have to go back out of the menu, M tester, and then unknown. This one's not going to work. See, it doesn't work from there. It only works from down there, because you can see the leads need to be connected down there, right? So what you do is you back out of the menu and you go to tools, and then you go here, see, and then you have your different testers down there. This one, I wonder if this will do it. Calibrate, generate, and then click click OK. Square, pulse, triangle. You know, you can choose what you want it to generate, which is really cool in that particular sense. And you have DC. Remember, DC is flat. DC is not alternating current. And of course, back to your oscilloscope. See? Yay! And then you saw the square, which was really cool. And then you have your M tester again, which was the one for the parts. And then we have our tools right here. It can detect the signal to a remote control. So let's say we have a universal remote right here, right? And then we can just get my phone off my lap and get the batteries from here. I'm not really sure what you would use that for. You know, it's just a fun little gimmick, maybe party trick. But honestly, I don't have a purpose for it. For me, I like using the component tester. So we have one here, and then put one battery there, and then this one is already ready to go. But if, see, we point it to it, we have to select it in the menu. Usually you don't have to. Usually it should just find it, because you can see the LED flashing. Let's see. But most likely, there we go. See? Voila. I was sitting on the sofa one time and I pressed it. So that gives you the code of, you know, maybe it's 1-4, and then it just keeps flipping through different codes. Because this is a universal remote, so it's always going to spit out different codes. But for your designated remote controller, you'll have the code. Maybe you need the code to program something else, like another universal remote. Maybe you don't have this universal. This universal remote will work on any television, any. Oops, don't break your stuff. It's the only downside to these little kits is that they're really hard to take these batteries out without damaging them, you know, like literally. There we go. So that's that. But let's go back to the LED. I'm going to put this over here. Okay. And then put this here. So that's voltage. Then you can measure other components. Then you have, with these we usually have. But again, if you're going to measure these kinds of components, just do it from down below. You know, there's no need to. Voltage it does measure, which is kind of cool. But again, it's somewhat of a multimeter, not 100%. You know, I don't really. I wouldn't use this as a voltage tester, to be honest with you. But if we go here, so that, because it's hard, because I got to hold this like that. It's like a bad game of Twister. And these are not the cables that you would use anyway. See? -3. So that means this one's -5. So for, you know, to test the batteries, you would use the other connector, which is right here. This one. Whoops, don't break your stuff. Right there. So now negative is negative, right? And then positive is positive. And then now voltage should read 1 point. Voltage in though. Hold on one moment, please. There we go. Put the voltage in, and now. So you have to keep switching it, and you have to see we have. Otherwise, it's not going to work. 1.5. We can switch it around though. On the 9 volt, it works pretty good. We do like here, because the 9 volt. So I would call this the 9 volt tester, right? Because you can just do that, and then where's the other one? And then do this, and it should measure 5.4 volts. Remember, the 9 volts dying, so you know that makes any sense. And that goes into here. See, it says in. There is another one. Let's try the diode. See, if I was going to test the diode, I wouldn't put it there. I mean, I would put it here, down below, down there. So I like it as a component tester. So if you want to test components before you put them in and solder them to make sure that they're good to go, that's why you would use the one down below. But in this particular case, we have, we'll go back. That was in tools, generator. So the generator is where the power will happen. Let's see, square, duty, amperage. Let's see what we have here. In our tools. See? Calibrate. I'll try the other one. Because we're not feeding it. M tester. You saw that? See? For the M tester. But I don't like this one because, you know, like, why go through all that trouble? Go all the way around and then down, right? And then just to do what you can do by putting it, see, it's hard to take it off. And we need this one for our radio build. Right here, down below. See, you can stick it in. Right, I wonder if I stick it in, if it'll work. Now it measures as capacitance. Let's see, I'm going to try one. I'm going to spread the legs. And then see if I can have it touch. And then unknown part. Hold on. This part's tricky. I would just use the alligator clips. and then I don't want to open it up because there we go. Let's see. Anyway, you would use the alligator clips instead of trying to do what I do, or open it, and I don't want to open it because I already have my tongs set. So you have where number 1 is, right? Or you know, however you want to. This will go here like that for a positive, and then the green probably is the negative. Whoops, don't break your stuff. And then now it'll light up. See? Voila. And if you look at it, so you see it tells you it's a diode, but look, check this out. If you go back right here, oops, M tester, see, this is the sequence. So you have 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 2, and then KAA. So you want to make sure that it's separate. So we have 1 and 1, and then we have 1 in the 2 right there. See? And then that's it. That's pretty much it. Again, we use this for testing components. This was more to show you how this thing works. The BNC cable, you know, for those of you, and how we got a wave going. You know, and again, you could use these. Oops, don't break your stuff. So we'll take the LED off, right? And usually when you buy these kits, the parts come together like that. The components. See, it says 1K, right? It may not measure 1K, but we'll get something close to it. So what you'll do is just test them, because we've gotten some parts. See, so instead of 1K, it's 1023, which is close to 1K. It should say 1000, but you're not always going to get that exact number. And then we go here, press it again. See, resist 996.7. So almost close to 1000, but that's within reason. It's when you measure it and it measures out as 500, and this is going to go to an LCD screen or something. It's not going to work. We've had to change a couple of the resistors because they didn't work. But we learned that the hard way because we didn't test the parts before soldering them in. And that's a nightmare once you put the parts in and shit don't work. Then I have a video that shows you how to do it. We actually did it on one of our live streams where we moved the parts to one of the cars so that we can test this to see if it was working, because apparently when we put the leads right on the parts, it didn't measure out like when you put it on here. That's why I say you can't really use it as a multimeter, because you're only going to get a reading on the parts if they're not soldered in, if that makes any sense, which is a little bit of a bummer, because it'll register it as a here, I'll show you, as a diode when it's not a diode. So if we put one here, probably because all these are connected to the diodes, right? So if we put one here and then put one, it's a little tricky. This is the hard part. I'm just trying to get it in, because remember the parts are soldered onto the board. I might have to find another, see if I can just somehow finagle it, or just tap it, right? It's not working. Oh, there we go. Voila. So now if I measure this, see, it's turning on the LED, so it measures as a diode because it's connected. You know, all parts are soldered together. You can measure up to, I believe, 400 volts on here. You know, so you don't have to worry about if there's current running through it. So it should measure. Let's see what happens if we. I remember Brian's Labs. He's actually an engineer that stops in every now and again. And he saw me doing this, and he was like, "No, don't do that." But I would not recommend doing it. But because we know that this can handle up to 400 volts, so we're okay. So now, see, see, this is what I was talking about. I was sitting on a sofa, and the IR decoder kicked in. So let's see if we can actually see, and that's the only downside, because now an M tester is not going to work unless you're really fast. See? It just boots you out, and then let's see, and then Testing. See, it measures as a diode, which is a bummer. It's not a diode. It tells you what connections you're using. We see we're using connection 1 and 3. So 1's right there and 3's right there, which is nice, but no, this isn't a diode. So that's the only messed up part. But we'll see what happens when we... I don't want to break this though. Oh man, you gotta be really careful. Whoops. Don't break your stuff. I see how it's in there. See, it's like jam. Oh, there, I got it. You could always fix these if you accidentally bend them like we have, but not today, but another time. We've had to solder these. But this is a new one. We actually sent the other version to one of our viewers / subscribers, Brian's Labs, and this one's still straight. So anytime we get something to the channel, you know, before I do the unboxing, so if it's going to be a live unboxing, I'll offer it to whoever shows up first. And Brian showed up first. I was like, hey Brian, do you want our other tester? And he was like, yeah. Apparently you don't need the latest and greatest, because the guy's retiring and has been using the same equipment for many years. So, you know, just because it's new, like, oh, I gotta have the newest one, this is great, it's gonna help me do what I need to do with my electronics. No, it doesn't really work that way. And Brian's Labs is living proof, because the guy has been using antiquated equipment and somehow managed to pay all his bills. But it is kind of nice. It doesn't really matter, because I just love this. Is nice, you know. I wouldn't buy this, but you know, being that it was sent to us, it's kind of cool. But let's see if we can we get to test it and use it on our next build. Like you can see, these are all the parts to the radio that we have here. But let's see if we can test on the multimeter. And that's why I like using the multimeter, because, you know, nothing, I guess I'm kind of old school that way, but and you don't have to worry about the your stuff getting caught, you know. It's set to auto, and as we can see, auto, let's see what we got there. Whoops. Hear it working. 197, and then let's take the battery out and see what kind of reading we get. This is the hardest part. If you saw earlier, getting the batteries out, it's like it doesn't want to come out. See? Whoops. There's so much pressure. That's the only thing I don't like about these kits, is that the battery experience sucks. But other than that, when they work, they work. There might be a way to make them bigger, jerry rig them, right? And then it's set to auto. See, 0.971 kilo ohms, and then we have here 0.98, and then this one only has 2 resistors on it. Let's check on the radio, see what we get for reading of parts here. So this is already, so we're rebuilding the radio. I want to see if I can put a USB-C power thingy here, because it has two prongs, 2 whatever connectors. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. And then we have here, it's set to auto, so you don't have to select it. So, you know, you just set it and forget it. So we have 502. See, 502 resistors. These are all the 502 resistors. 505, and then we have here 505. These are all 505 resistors. See, and this and the other ones, the R3s, should all be the same. And again, that's why I don't like using this. You can't use it as a multimeter, even though it says multimeter oscilloscope. Yeah, good luck with that, because it should do this. 0.9, so it's like a 10 kilo ohms, and this one should be, yeah, same reading. Okay, 0.9 auto. It's hard to get them in there without touching the other one. 0.9, see, 0.9, and then this one might be different. I can't tell, but it should measure out the same. We have black. I don't remember. I don't recall them giving us two of the same ones. Let's see, R16, 0.9, so that matches these. See, and then we have here. I don't know what that one is, to be honest with you. Actually, we would know 0.9. So those are all the 0.9s, and then here 0.9. Let's see what we get. Measure those. 1.0. Okay. And that would be these right here. Yep. The 1K, I believe. We can just tell from the board because it'll tell us where it goes. So the 510s go here and the 1Ks go there. See that? So the 1Ks, KK, K means what in Spanish, right? So now we go here. So this gives you an idea of like, oh, I don't know what the 1Ks are. So as you can see, 1.0. And then we have here 505. You saw that? And so we know that that's the closest, which is not really good because that means we'd have to go into our little parts department. And this is why you need tongs for that. I have tongs somewhere because it's hard to do this with the multimeter, but see, 1. Anyway, you kind of get the idea. And then these must be the 500s. So you got 510s. So let's see what we get here. And you saw they all measured at 510. I'll show you where I'm going with this so you can get an idea. So we have here 491, which is pretty good, right? And then we have here, which was like 5 something. So 491 is still good. It's close to 510, 502. So we know that those are those. And the only downside, again, to this, it shouldn't be measuring as a freaking diode. So now we're back to the latest and greatest because this is new. It says a multimeter / oscilloscope. And it's good for business because then we can say, welcome back to everything that glitches. The only way you're going to get your parts to measure is if they're not on the board. So we have here, put one there, and then put one here. It's testing. Make sure your fingers aren't touching it. See, resistor 502, the resistance. Be part of the resistance. Now, oh, that's so cool. Now that you have problems with your radio, you're like, I'm going to use my new $80 oscilloscope multimeter, supposedly, and then test out my parts because I know what I'm doing. I know one of these are dead. One of these, but I can't tell which one, but I just spent all my money on this piece of crap. And then now, if I can get it in there, once it's in, you're fine. Maybe try a different one, right? Because if it's hard to come out, or we can bend it up a little bit, because we're building a new one anyway. If I can just somehow bend it up so that I can get, oh, that ain't coming out. Coming up. Anyway, you kind of get the idea. So we'll put one there and maybe hold the other one. But it's not the same. If we have to hold it somehow, the resistance. If I can, I'm just going to let it touch it. It says unknown, which is fine because I'm moving it. I just need to get it to grasp onto like a freaking one part. And there we go. Somehow bend it. Oh wow, that looks like a good one. Ah, there, got it. All right, so now I'm going to test it out with my new meter, and then all of a sudden it measures as resistance, but it wasn't doing that before, and you saw it was measuring as a diode. But And the point is that sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And that's it. 497 is pretty close to 500. The next one, we'll try the next one. But you can see it's hard to measure. And if you saw me on this one a few minutes ago, it was measuring it as a diode, which is really weird. Oh, let's try over here. Hold on. Let's try the consistency. Remember, this one was hard to come out, but once they're locked in, then you know it's good. Sort of. Depends on your meter. And then don't get attached to the experience because, well, you know, now this one, if I can somehow finagle it and get in there. Oh, there we go. That's a good, there we go. Now, let's see what we got. See? Diode. And that's why it's not a diode. It's a resistor from the resistance. So that, you know, and let's see on the multimeter, right? Now we go here. Welcome back to Everything That Glitches. So yeah, I wouldn't use, I would only use this to test. So if I'm going to build this thing here, I would use this. I love this thing for that, but I wouldn't use it to troubleshoot. Even though it has the leads and connectors and things like that. So we have here for the resistance, and see 0.9, which is like a 10K. But if we, you know, put it here, this one's hard because see a 1K, and this is the 1K. Okay, 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 and that's it. You know, that's pretty much it with that. It's just a bummer, but again, I wouldn't use this to test the components because you're always going to get a different experience. Whereas with the multimeter, for some reason, it stays true to the form, true to the experience. Oh, and then you go here, look, this is how it would measure if we have our LED. We have alligator clips, but I don't need them. I'm not going to put them on because I rarely use this one for component testing anymore because we have the other one, and it just doesn't light up. See, but you can tell we have voltage, ohms, continuity. You would have to change it into that one. So we do a smart function. So sometimes auto works, but not really. See, yay! There's our LED. See, like that, and it gives you like the metrics and numbers there. This one's battery operated. It doesn't charge, but it looks like I got 1 bar left, so I'm gonna have to change. I'm gonna put this back like this, nice and neat, because we're gonna need this for our radio to put it in. So yeah, that, you know, it has its limitations. Don't get attached to the experience, even though I'm still, you know, figuring out how to use it, but I only use this one right here. And if you've seen our previous one, this is just an upgrade because this one's chargeable. You can charge it. And I don't see myself using the oscilloscope, to be honest with you. That was just to give you guys a sneak peek. But if you want a component tester, this is definitely the way to go, to be honest with you. And this one, I'm going to have to change the battery. Hopefully I have a battery in here. It has a fuse in here. Actually, we can do that now. Since we always have to have, we always like our equipment ready to go in our next video. We don't want to be like, oh no, where is it? So if something happens, or we also like to answer questions on the go too. So let's see, I'm going to have to go into this one. And then I heard a bell. I heard someone, Lou, I must go. So weird. I heard the ding, but I don't see. Let me do pop-out chat. That bell that you heard, like pring, is this. Watch. We usually have trolls show up in the portrait mode, and you'll hear a bing, and I heard that a second ago, and that's when you know it's time to say hello to somebody who just stopped in. Anyway, Swedish Forge will probably be here tomorrow because he's our 3D printing expert. So now we'll just change the battery to this. And the newer multimeters, we've been sent multimeters, the newer version of this. We actually gave that one away. The new version of the multimeter actually went to Brian's Labs. It was just huge. It was huge. I reached out to the company and was like, hi, you know, showed them my channel, and they were like, it's like, can I have the newer version of this? No, I asked them for a particular multimeter, and then they showed me something else, and I was like, no, that's huge, that's too big. We're not doing stuff like that on the channel. And oh, someone said hi. Hello, LCRT4. I'm not sure what that means, but welcome to the show. And I said, no, I have this. And then they said, oh, okay, yeah. So I was like, it's not my first road trip with you guys. And then they sent me the meter, but it was just so huge, not optimal for the channel. So we gave it to Brian, because Brian's going to be, you know, doing some stuff as a hobby, just tinkering around. So let's see. So we definitely need a new battery in here, but I'll show you a sneak peek inside. And the newer ones are rechargeable. So, oh wow, it takes 2. That's okay though, because they do last over a year, so I'm not worried about that. I just wish we could. Oh yeah, we could, right? Except we'd have to put the attachments on. See, that's the other thing that's a downside to the oscilloscope / multimeter, because in order to use the battery testing function, you got to put those leads on the top. But we can test these batteries after we put new ones in there. And then just be careful. I wouldn't recommend doing it what I'm doing right now. I would probably use something plastic, see? Because it just pops right out, and you don't have to worry about scratching it and ruining it. But there is a fuse inside of here. I have a whole bunch of them. If you accidentally, you know, blow it out, it can be fixed. But batteries are the easiest thing. But we're just gonna put this away, because honestly, we're not gonna use these. But I'll just show you guys right here. I'm not sure what LCR-T4 means, but see the other prongs right here. I'm just gonna put it in the bag. Remember how that goes there, and then we have this right here, comes off, and you know how the other connectors work. Ground goes right there, under here, and then you have your little tweaking right here. Oh wait, you can't see because it's stuff only. Again, play it again, Sam. So you have this one right here, this to connect, right? And just have to get that. Comes with, see, goes into the in, or whichever one, whatever. And then we have here. I wonder if, I hope so. Oh good, the sound's off. Okay. All right, so that's going back in the bag. And then this one right here, we have the ground. That goes right there. And this comes off like that. And then you can put the little yellow cap on there if you want to pinpoint where it is exactly you're testing. As you can see, not optimal. It could be optimal if it was consistent. As you saw, the LED measured as a diode, whereas the LED measured as an LED with the multimeter, and the resistors measured as resistance. So it's just going to be hit or miss. And it didn't matter with the multimeter if it was close to the LED. It just knew what it was. Whereas this is like, oh, I don't know, I'm confused. Maybe, yeah, it looks like it. I don't know. Anyway, you kind of get the idea. And that's how that works. Kind of neat. I'm going to put a red one right there. You know, if you have multiple ones, you would put a different color, as long as you remember what that's connected to. The red wire to the blue wire, the black wire to no wire, you know, kind of like that. And then you would just do your readings from there. But honestly, if it's doing that with resistors, transistors, and diodes, I don't recommend, like, doing export. Oh, and then this one right here, in case you're wondering, this goes in to make some adjustments with your reading if you need to. So that goes, whoops, don't break your stuff, right, and there's a little hole right in there, and you just turn it and you'll feel it turn, and then you just make some adjustments. But you don't really, you shouldn't have to, but it's there. Sometimes your wave to adjust your, anyway, that takes care of that. But now we just got to get a battery for this right here, and let's see. if I have batteries. I should. I have lots of batteries. Did that ever happen to you? You're like, wait, I had so many, and then no. Oh, there we go. The hardest part is going to be opening this thing to get two. All I want is 2 batteries. You could wind up in the emergency room trying to open these things up. By cutting yourself. And they do it because of shoplifting, unfortunately. I remember when I had asked, I was like, why is this thing so hard to open? And they're like, for shoplifters. Because apparently, I guess in the store, they would open it and then take out the contents from the inside. Let me see. Just like, there we go. Older than battery. What's the difference? Other than battery, what's the difference between what? One's rechargeable and one's not chargeable. Like, you wouldn't have to do this with the FNIRSI, the other one, and you wouldn't have to worry about whether or not you're going to wind up in the emergency room from trying to open this thing with a really sharp razor. If you do, just have the blade pointed the other way. And wow, they really got this in there. Look at that. The cardboard is so thick. Yeah. Or you just go to, I was going to say go to CVS and get a one that opens. I think the ones at CVS. Yeah. Look at that. I have a sharp X-Acto blade and this shit still won't come out. Like it's really hard to cut it open, and I just hope these batteries are good. I have another multimeter we can use to test it. Damn. And that's just one battery, and I'm strong. I can imagine like an older person trying to get a battery out. They have to call an assistant. So then we just do it like that, so like this, so you don't accidentally poke your fingers. So just do it outwards, see, and then away from you. And then now, wow, it's crazy. That one might have done it. Yay, sort of. I just want one battery. Shit. And sometimes the plastic is sharp too, and you can cut yourself on that. So now, if we take the other meter, so now I only have 8 batteries left, but we use them for other stuff too, like the bicycle and things like that. So now, what I like about this multimeter, this one right here, it's an older one. This is probably the kind that Brian's Labs use. But again, the latest, which is just proof that you do not need the latest and greatest material to get the job done. And that'll go in there, and it goes the other way, like this. Just put it in. Look, Ma, no hands. See, it's good. It's good. And now we know that, because sometimes I'll show you why I'm using this and why you would want to do this too. Because let's say if you're excited to put the battery in, and you're like, oh, I can't wait. Oh my God, I can't wait. 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 All right, which one's the new battery? Remember, they're all the same. All right. And that's where this would come in handy, because sometimes when people take the batteries out, they just do that, and then all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck? Oh no, which one's the new one? Then they put it in, and then they have to unscrew it again, take it apart to get their thing working. So this one is definitely, see, replace. We know that that's basura, garbage, so we'll put that here. All right, this one, I don't know, it's going to be luck of the draw. Can you imagine if the 2 good ones are right there? That would be kind of wild. Oh my God, that is kind of wild. Look at that. I should have just taken these 2. I should have done like a survey. Which one should I? All right, so now we know that was luck. Now if we put this here, And see, yay! And there's one, and whoops, and there's two. If you put it in backwards, it's gonna read as a negative, and then it won't blow it. But see, it just goes down all the way, and you won't know what's the good one. All right, so that comes in handy there. So now, if we put the batteries in, we have one here, see, and then one there. See, and it beeps, meaning it turned on, and now I just have to find the cover, which is right here. And see, it's beeping because it's popping out from the other side. But once we put the screw in, it'll hold it. And it just keeps beeping. I wonder why. Oh, okay. And that's it. And now, see, we got full. We don't have any bars because it's a good one. You only see the bars when it's dying. But now, that's why I love this one. I mean, I'm grateful for them for having sent me like the so-called new one, but it was just too big, and we don't have the space for an industrial size meter on this channel. See, this is the alligator clips you can put on your multimeter, and it has other ones too, little ones. So for direct contact, but these go. Yeah, I'll show you. I'll put this here. But I don't use them because I just use the tongs. See, I'm gonna go here. Black is the middle. Put that like that, and then the red is right here. And then now we could put a tongue in there. Let's do the black, right? See? Yay, and then you can just do, I think that's a negative, like that. And then you can freely, you don't have to, like a bad game of Twister. 9 volts, wow. It just means that this is a good battery, which is kind of neat. We used to do a lot of 9 volts back in the day for the LEDs in the back, but then we built our own lighting system, so now it just works better. And then now, to make sure it really does work, right? Oh, actually, that's fine. This is a 1K, no que, que pasa? And then now, this should measure as 1K. So we know it works. We put new batteries. This lasts about a year, depending on how much you use. How's it going, Lou? Hey, what's up, Tomo Prime? Your buddy was here earlier, Swedish, and now they are incognito. Well, I could see why, because Swedish Forge loves the 3D printing part of the experience. We try to make something for everyone, you know. I'm just going to shut this off. Not everyone likes the electronics, but he'll be here like a hawk once we start the 3D printer tomorrow. I think we only have some logos to print, not much. But we're going to paint Donkey Kong, which is right there, and hopefully try and put his tie back on. But that's okay that the tie broke. The tie, oh my God. Swedish Forge, if you're still there listening, sometimes he goes to bed, but he leaves it listening, so he can hear what's happening. He's like, hi, what's going on? Like, kind of like what Tomo Prime 217. So anyway, if you're listening, Swedish Forge, if you haven't fallen asleep yet, they're sending us the sander. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, I'll show it to you guys. Again, this one I'm keeping though, but I might give away, whenever we get something sent, I might give away the Dremel. I don't know. But this sander is everything it's cracked up to be. Here, let me see. I always keep my collaborations in here. Sometimes we get offered good stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool, send it, and nothing comes. Maybe it gets stuck in customs or never makes it. Anyway, so we have Deslock is sending us another lock. Headphones for the gardening I have to do. I'll probably do that when I'm fall cleanup because they said no pressure, because I made a really good video for them and they liked it. 3D print sander. Here it is. Oh my God. This is what we're sending. Oh, this is the collaboration. I wonder if I got approved though. They shipped it. They really gave me a tracking number. It says in review, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that because I told them I don't like affiliate programs. So we'll just go here. But aside from affiliate programs, I should have put everything else in here for the collaboration. I think I didn't put it in because I needed to make sure that they were actually sending the stuff. But hold on one second. I have to go full version of me. I'll find the email and share it with you. I tried flying at night. No crashes so far. Oh my God, that is so cool. Oh, and the best part about flying that drone or any homebrew drone at night is that you don't get like the low light reading. Ken and I are going to be doing a live stream on Friday, not in Terrytown, but we're going to be here in Glen Rock at the field, the big green field. You'll see it in the video. So have a look, because that might be enticing for you. But if you're not crashing flying in an area with trees, that's pretty good. But you know, everyone has different skill set. But hold on, let me find the email, because I got to put that into the collaboration thingy, and then I'll share with you. I was blown away because I wasn't sure if they were going to send it, because it kept saying account in review, right? And usually they won't. And I wasn't sure if it was legit or a scam, right? Because sometimes that happens because their emails look different and stuff like that. But that, hold on, let me see. How to buy Lou, free try, smart lock. Let me just get rid of one email from here. Not get rid of it, just archive it so that we don't. Let's see. Move to. I'll just put it in red. Christian, your email is going into the red. If he's watching, we were helping him last night, but I didn't want to show. All right, so let's see. Samsung Me. We can get rid of that. And then let's see. Thank you. We'll be on the lookout. Yeah, so this is it from Theodore. Check it out. I got the tracking number and everything. The affiliate link, and let's see, update shipping. Let's see. Ah, here it is. So please join our affiliate program, but this is what they're sending. This is just great. It's going to take 3D printing, and we might print the Donkey Kong, something again that we can try out, this Blade Creator combo. I'm not sure what the combo comes with. It should come with a sander, right? Even if it, I hope it does. Although, well, maybe we'll use it to open up the battery thing. But no, for $196, it was $218. But yeah, I thought it was Blade Creator Combo US. Interesting. I thought it was the sander. What did I say in the email? It is a sander, but I don't know if they sent the sanding attachments. You should see. Oh, what's included? There we go. NeoBlade wireless ultrasonic cutter, 6-in-1 blade sampler set, turbo dock charging station. I thought it was the sander. I wonder if you could put the sanding attachments on here. That's weird. Like, why? Oh no, it's the blade. All right, maybe they'll send it. This is what I was hoping that they would send. The Neo sander. How much is the Neo sander? $152. Wow, it's expensive, man. See, I would never buy any of this stuff, but it's just a bummer that I thought I was getting the. Honestly, I don't. Let me think for a second now. Because, like, what would I use the electric blade for? It's not like I'm a craftsman. Maybe we'll get a bar of soap and carve something out of the soap. Yeah, a craftsman. Maybe if they like the video, I can ask for the other one, because now I'm an affiliate. I am affiliated with them. But yeah, I'm not crazy about that, to be honest. honest with you. I think it's like duplicate effort to have that blade and then to have the sander. Like it's, you know, like it would be nice if the attachments just changed. Like if I could put this, make it a sander. Oh, make it a blade. I could see that coming in handy with what we were just doing. It's, you know, it's rechargeable, but I don't see. Maybe we'll try it on a 3D print. Maybe if they see me doing it on a 3D print, they'll be like, Brian was like, no, we have a sander for that. I'm like, okay, then send it. And once you're part of the affiliate program, they usually send you more stuff. Like, for example, Raveman is sending us another LED light. Raveman, which is really cool. I can't wait to try it, to be honest with you. Partnership. So once you're a partner, it depends on the person in charge. They'll send you anything you want. This is what they're sending now. I can't wait to test that out, because I have the Raveman 1500. Look, we even did. I don't know if I'm going to be doing drone. See, there it is right there. I can't wait to test it. And these things are expensive. I wonder if it's already in the market. I think it's supposed to launch later in the month, so I have to do the video before then, and then I can sell the old one. Except let me just stop this right there because I don't want to get copyright stricken. If we go back to the inbox, I can say it's Barbara. Hello, Barbara. Hello, Barbara. She's just amazing. Again, because anytime I reach out to her, she's like, sure, we'll send it to you. Where sometimes I don't know how this new program is going to be, where the ultrasonic holozo, and be like, we're not. They might say something like, we're not promoting that. That's a nice way of saying no when you ask for something, and they're like, oh, we're not doing promotions for that right now. So you know, so I don't know, but we know Barbara is definitely. Except I can only get so many products. You know, there's only so many things. Raveman. Oh, let's see. Like I know cycling products. Raveman. Go here. I'm gonna think of doing it. There's a new one. So the FR 1000. Oh, so it's 5. So I have the FR 1000. I thought it was 500. 1100. So it hasn't come out yet. So, you know, the goal is to make that video before, and I hope the weather's nice too. See, no results yet. So it's pre-launch, which is great, and I can't wait to see it. I mean, I'm a big fan because I do a lot of night rides in the fall. You know, when the kids are in school, can't ride during the day, and we'll see how that works out. And then I usually ride before they go to bed, which means I'll be doing another giveaway for the other Raveman products I have in my bicycle. Because, and what's great about it, if you ride, they last about 45 to 48 hours if you need a flashing running daylight, so you could use your other light when it's lights out, or just continue on and change the settings and use this one into the night, and then do a you know, charge them when you come back. But my running daylight, honestly, I have not charged my running daylight in the last 30 days, and I've been riding 3 or 4 days a week. That's how good the Raveman products are. Really good. They outlast and are better than the Garmin and Bond Trigger lighting systems, but sometimes I think they just have so many products coming out of their butt that they don't focus on the user experience for another product. Kind of like Apple, where you have this, the iPhone, this, and the iPhone that. That's the only issue I have with the Raveman, is that I have so many Raveman lights, especially back there, that only a few of them are novelty. You know, like, you know, if that makes any sense, or like this sleekest design, like we have right here. You know, like this one's just a beauty. Like it's just, they put a lot of time in to design, where the other ones are like really tacky and bulky. I'm like, but they still have the experience is still the same, no matter which Raveman you have. But the design is just like, why do they do it like that? You know, why it looks like so ugly? Like I wouldn't be caught like wearing denim jeans. I wouldn't be caught dead in them. But anyway, so it looks like now they put a lot of time and energy into the design aspect of things, which is so cool. Anyway, we'll see when that comes. I got a tracking number for the new blade. I thought it was the sander. I was so excited. I was gonna, maybe you can use it to cut 3D prints out. Like if you do a 3D print, I'll show you the card prints, which is really cool because if they see that, they may be like, oh, he does 3D printing too. And then I can ask for the other one. These are the card prints, which is great because now we can, they'll see, this is it. So with the card print, you have to use cutters to cut them out, and you have to make sure that you have a flat surface. So that's a good thing here, and we have one for the X-Acto blade, which is right here. So we'll be able to test it out, cut this out. Maybe we'll use this. This will be for the next video that they send us. Hold on, right here. I'll show you guys. We'll do when they send it. I just have to copy and paste that information into let's see, me stuff. See, I'll just be able to add some music to it. I don't hate the ones that have the music. I just want to know how to do it, and it goes anyway, I think that's because they don't speak English, right? And all these stuff was made in Hong Kong or China, so that's why you have like the cheesy music on the how-to tutorials. But this is really cool, so we're gonna use that, except maybe, and I can't use it on here because I'll accidentally cut it, but maybe print this in a different color so that we can see, or just put white paper around it, right? So that because it's gray on gray. But that's okay. We make these videos so you don't have to. So now what I have to do is go here. Will you have rain? I'm not sure if we'll have rain on Friday. Actually, let's go to the weather. Before I go to weather. So I definitely have to put all that information into like the Ravemen product, into Trello, which is my project management tool. What's beeping though? It's so weird considering everything is off. Oh, that's weird. Welcome back to Everything Like Glitches. All we did was change the battery. Me stuff. Wait for it. It'll turn back on. See? What? Why is that happening? It's a smart meter. It's so smart. Oh man, you really can't make this up. They don't make this one anymore. Shut it off. That's on. Huh. I mean, I could always reach out to them now that they know me. It's just turning on and off. Okay, let's shut it off. I don't even have to shut it off. Damn it. This was our best meter. Look, and it passed quality control. Huh. That's what I heard beeping the other day too, to be honest with you. Let's put smart function. Shut it off. Okay. Now it's off, but it should have auto off. Turn it on. We'll leave it on. It should shut off automatically, but apparently it's glitching out. I love that meter. All right, knowing that, moving forward, we'll check the weather, and then you guys can see how we put all our collabs in one place. So the weather is hopefully not, you know. We have today, hourly, 10-day. Oh man. Thank you for that, Tom, for the heads up. We might have to reschedule. Hopefully not. But depends on the time too. I don't know. Can we do an hourly for Friday? We have 5 a.m. Okay. Nice. 10 a.m., 11 a.m. We're doing 11. Oh, man. Yeah, it's going to be hit or miss because I'm not paying premium to get the weather forecast here. Right there. Yeah, that kind of sucks. All right. So now to keep track of everything, because it's when I'm like, when I go make a video, sometimes I might record outside, especially the bicycle product. I'll do the unboxing here and go outside. Hey there, welcome back, guys. This video is special thanks to... then I bust out my phone. I'm like, who sent us the Raveman thing again? My friend. Hi, my friend. Barbara. Oh, yes, Barbara. And then they're here. I'm like, oh, okay. Barbara. There it is, right there. So I have to do that. Because I get, as you can see, it's hard to keep track. I think this one was from, I don't know, who sent these? Norelli. And then I have to go back into the email and paste it in there. 3D Print Sender. Hey, welcome back, guys. This video special thanks to, I don't know. Or if I don't know the name, because sometimes they don't give a name, they forget to sign their signature. I'm like, special thanks to the folks or the people at what's the name of the company? So kind of like that, right? And then here we go. Raveman Barbara. Neo 2 headlight. Oh, I know that one by heart. That's Wendy. Wait, what? And of course there should be a description in there. So hold on. I hear it, but I don't see it. Oh, it's my children. So here, hi, cheers, headlight. And then right here, Wendy. See, hey there, welcome back, guys. This video is special. And then usually what I'll do is I'll click in and like to reply back to them. Usually, so I don't have to find their email. So we got to do that. So we have to do here. See, all we have is that. Yeah, a little bit of a bummer. Oh, wait, let me see what she wants though. Maybe I'm thinking of making a new thread, a new let's make a deal. Hello? You know, like how we have how to 3D print, how to make a radio, how to soldering for beginners, how to fly your drone. Thinking like how to do YouTube collaborations. Sister. We'll see who that is. Tom. I might try to fly today, tomorrow, depending on weather. That's great, and that's the trick. Like if you're flying FPV, if you do like me once a week, you're never gonna level up. And then you're never gonna be like Tom, where you just fly and look, he's not crashing anymore. And that's the trick. As soon as you stop flying, you sort of lose the mojo. Excuse me, / craft, and just try to fly every day. I'm looking forward to flying too. Just not today. We flew yesterday. I might. It depends on the weather. I might do the big drone. But I can't wait to fly the other one outside. All right. So we have Neo 2 headlight. I'm not sure why this is like this. See, and when I click it, everything comes in there. That's coming from Wendy. That's coming from China or somewhere in the world. And then we have here, we have Wendy. And I have, see, unsaved changes. That's so weird. And then we'll see, you want to keep their email in the bottom. Then we save it. And then we go here into 3D Print Sander. It's not the sander. Call it, what is it called? Now I gotta go back into the email. Ultrasonic wireless cutter. Yeah, honestly, it's alright. I mean, I don't have a use for it. I should have known, I should have checked. Excuse me, because I only do collaborations with stuff that I could use forever. Like the bicycle light, the meter tester, anything, the Starlink, and stuff like that. Like this, if it's a one-time use, no matter how good it is or how expensive it is, I tell them no, because I don't want that shit laying around the house. Then you're gonna have to sell at a garage sale, like we did with the Starling product. Well, that's different though, because that I just knew I could get rid of. Or maybe we'll for this for sure we'll probably do a giveaway on, because I thought it was going to be the sander, as you can saw even in my notes. I was so excited, but nah, I'm not anymore, because I don't mind using the wire cutters, and it won't take up a lot of space to take shit apart that print and won't come apart. All right, so now we have to go into the Proton Mail and log in, sign in, go here. Oh, sweet, it shipped. I got an 04 air unit for $75, believe it or not. $75. Oh, because it's used. But who cares, right? Because if it don't work, I can return it to B&H and no questions asked return policy. Oh, wow. Oh, it shipped. But what's the ETA? Wow, that's coming today? That's so weird. Nah. Anyway, estimated delivery. Oh, tomorrow, August 6th. So that'll be interesting. So this came from Amber. Oh, that's someone else. There we go. Go here. See it shipped. Ella. Hey there, welcome back, guys. This video is special thanks to Ella. And then we have here, we have the tracking. We have a guide to the blade, so we can throw that in there. Let's download that. Right after we copy that, and then we go here. So usually you should be able to click it and go to edit. Thinking of doing like how to do YouTube collaborations, or like let's make a deal, because we get so many offers on a weekly basis that I'm thinking of just like, see, this is it. Oh, the Neo blade. See, look, you can do sculpting with it. I'm not going to be sculpting, but I have to read this because it's going to have all like the fun stuff that I have to shout out in the video. I told them I don't do specs, but I'll just highlight the key points. Again, it's interesting, but really not my thing. But you definitely won't wind up in the ER using this thing. Like, like I was cutting up the battery, trying to get it out. Sorry, so now we have there. So we downloaded that. So now we have to find their email. See, from, man. So we go here. And then we drop we know it's from Ella. We go back into our downloads right here and see what we got. And then we have, I hate this part because it should be by, where's our date? View by date added. There we go. But it doesn't do it. This is a glitch with the frickin' latest and greatest operating system. So now I got to go back again. See, should have downloaded it. So just click here, Google Drive, and go to desktop. Call it Blade Guide. Remember Blade with the Wesley Snipes? And then we go here. Now it's downloaded, showing the Finder. And now if I can somehow move that over here, and then we can close that and then drop this in there. See? Oh man, 10 megabyte limit. Are you shitting me? It's okay. I have a solution around that. Let's see, we can go here. Where did it go? See, even if I view by date. Let's do view by name. Where's names? What's my name? This is Apple needs to fix that, because there was a time when I can view by date and it would do it, but that's okay. And then if I go show in Finder, it probably won't show it again because I changed the name. See, it's on the desktop. Let's go here. See, Blade Guide. So we'll go here, open it up, and where is it? compressor. PDF. I think it's PDF Combiner. It's one of the other, PDF Combiner or PDF Pro. Extract, merge. These are the tools we have. Split, protect, and page numbers. You can do page image, photo, and then compress. Okay, good. So now drop it in, press compress, and then generate 23 megabytes. What? Oh, that's the total size. So I want, too bad it doesn't tell you what it's gonna be. The Adobe one does. Let's see, go here. In case you guys are wondering where I'm clicking, go into cursor, and then now we're just gonna go here into medium. Medium looks good, and then generate. And hopefully it'll be smaller. Yay, 11 megs, that's pretty good. But I think it said 10 megabyte limit, right? So we go back. Low is fine. Low is going to be pretty good because I think Adobe PDF is the best because it'll compress it and you don't lose any resolution. Like you're like, what? Is it really compressed? Is it not compressed? So now if I click save, 18 megabytes. Are you shitting me? It makes no sense. You're killing me. I clicked low and it saved it as 18. I clicked medium and it saves it as 11. You can't make this shit up. So let's try medium again and see what it does. You're killing me, man. But it's good for business because then we can say welcome back to everything that glitches. See that? That just makes no freaking sense. The low, it should go lower, right? Like think of it the Goldilocks effect. Extreme, high, medium, and low. But low, I don't know. Let's try Adobe PDF Reader Pro. This one should do it. Yeah, but every time they update these apps, no, keep preview, and I'm gonna say open PDF, and then go back into the desktop. See, it's a lot of work just keeping track of this stuff. And then now there should be an option. Let's go to help, compress. See? Compress. 22 megabytes on medium, low calculating. And 9, see? Didn't I tell you? Adobe is the best. Oh man, the meter's going bonkers. I'll have to reach out to the folks that sent me one. And then we'll go to desktop. Okay. And then we'll call it Blade 2, right? Wasn't there a Blade 2 with Wesley Snipes? And then we'll to Blade 2. And then yay. And then now we can show it in the Finder. And then we can shrink that. And then go to Blade 2 and we should be able to drop it in. See? What? Where did it go? File exceeds 10 megabyte limit. You're kidding me. I thought it was Blade 2. Go back to desktop. Right? Blade 2. Oh, it's 23. Blade compressed. Got it. So weird. I called it Blade 2. I don't know. Anyway. It may or may not work. It worked because I wasn't sure if it would work because see it's 10.2. Maybe if it was 10.5 it would round it off to 11. And then we go here. Where is it? There it is right there. So now I have here, I can select save, and the only thing I have to do with this one, so for the ultrasonic cutter, go back into my emails. That's so cool. Let me know if you fly today. It'd be interesting to see. Now we go back here. You can close that, and I don't have to open it up again. And see, sometimes it's tricky Like that email is deceiving. Like look at that. Theodore. There you go. Theodore Prescott. Wow. I wonder where they're located. It's a very like English continental name. All right. Well, before we do that, before we find, I should know this, right? Anyway, I should know where the people, especially they're sending me. Oh no, Ella. See, that's the confusing part. Ella sends the email, right, from Theodore Prescott newsletter brand. I'm like, wait, who's Theodore Prescott? So sometimes that can be confusing, and then what you want to do is just thank, hey there, welcome back guys, this video is special thanks to Ella, because I have no idea. And sometimes you think it's a scam. I'm getting an email from Ella from Theodore Prescott about an offer for a blade that I thought it was a sander, but anyway, so don't be fooled by the email. And sometimes they'll use their Gmail account, which is crazy, which is fine. So it's hard to it's hard to do that. And if you saw in the beginning, I wrote to them, right, and I signed up for their affiliate program, and I say, hey look, I don't do any affiliations that require me to sign in with my YouTube account. Let me see if I can find that email. I just gotta, because I have other stuff in here that you can't see. Not other stuff, but it just has my address. Not that it matters, but hi, how to by Lou. Oh yeah. Hold on. How to by Lou. Sent. Here we go. So I said to them, thanks for reaching out. Just signed up for your affiliate program. Account is in review status, and if you saw, it's still in review. Just wanted to share that How To by Lou channel does participate in programs with products and promotions. However, any affiliate program that requires one to log in directly into the channel are routed to the How To by Lou website. So I have a Wix website that's free, because sometimes they ask you to authenticate by putting a little code on your YouTube channel, or putting a code on your website. And I say, for security reasons, we do not log into the channel through third-party apps. I'm more than happy to put a code on the YouTube channel instead of the website. Code was put on web page for verification instead. And so what that means is, I'm not, no, even if it was $4 million, I'm not doing that. Because what happens is sometimes there are scams that hijack your account. They have anyway, I have a video that shows you how to do it. But the way around that is to put the code. You go to your channel, and then you go to where is the channel? Right here, more, and you would edit it. But as you can see, links are right there, and the code would go here at the bottom, right? But instead, I believe I put it here on the Wix website. Wix is expensive, but I have the free version of the Wix, which is fine. And then we'll go here. I'm surprised the link isn't clickable though in YouTube. So if I go here somewhere, I'm surprised Instagram is still there. I thought I took it down. If we go here, see, there's the code. So that's the code you're supposed to put. But sometimes they don't have a code and they ask you to log in, so I don't do it. So like, there's the code, that's it. And then apparently they're happy with it because they're sending it to me, But I thought I closed the Instagram account. I have to check that out. Anyway, I'll do that later. Because remember when the account got hacked, someone ran an ad campaign, and Meta, which is owned by, I think, Facebook. American Express paid me back, like, I think it was $200 in ads that they ran, or I actually shut it off in time. Forget about that. If you just leave it running, so like, what, I'm just going to delete the account. Apparently it deleted it, but it's still there. We'll see how that works. And only because the reason why I don't do Instagram anymore is because if you accidentally, let's say you're not hacked, or you're hacked, and you run an ad campaign, your credit card company and bank will pay you back, and they'll recognize it as fraud. Good luck with that with Facebook and the other platforms, Instagram. They will still hold you up to the balance. Balance due. A balance needs to be paid in full, which kind of sucks. I'm like, what? The credit card saw it as fraud, and then you can't get a human. That's another reason why too. So if your account, I was like, nah, too many platforms. So that's why we just do YouTube. So anyway, knowing that and moving forward, let's just make sure we get Theodore Prescott's email, which is right there, and then we put that, copy it, and then we put it in, and then you save it. See, now we have it, and then you prioritize. Most likely Deslock is going to be first, and then Raveman second. The headphones will be last. Ultrasonic cutter, I told them when I get it, there's like within 2 weeks. And then Neo headlight, definitely a must, because Wendy's we work with a lot. And then that's it. So then, as you can see here, I have to put Neo headlight too. I wonder why that's not in there. Oh, it is in there. So weird. Except Wendy's email isn't, because I like to click it, right? And then go here, go back into inbox, and then go to Wendy. W-E-N-D. There's only one Wendy. What? Hate when that happens. Fly. There we go. It's info@vifly.com. And there we go. Thank you, Wendy. And see, this way I don't have to look for it, because I can click anywhere in here, right? I should be able to. And then save it. I'll just do like a space. Should be able to save it, and then looks like maybe put her email at the top, right? So that I can just click it. Or it should be able to just say, nope, it won't let me. Okay, so then what you do is, because this is the edit phase, right? So it just gives you a snippet. So in order to be able to send Wendy an email without scrolling all the way down to the bottom, I can delete that one. And then now it should be a clickable link when I go here. Okay, and Wendy, your video is ready. And then voila. Or I could just copy it, you know. Either way, I don't have to open it to do it. And then I just open up. But you shouldn't have to. I should be able to just go to compose, and then our email will auto populate. So then we have that. We have the B&H. I'll put that here. Archive that. That's so amazing. An 04 air unit. But we'll see if it works. And the good thing about the 04 unit is that you don't have to bind it. You know, you just sort of like, well, you do bind it, but you don't have to. It's not have to. It doesn't have to be unbound, if that makes any sense. Like if it's a drone, it has to be unbound, and you can't use it. It's not locked into any person, so it's plug and play. Whereas a drone and camera and stuff like that, I think they're locked in. So we'll just click apply, which is great. I just hope it's in good condition. Then we have another Amber. What does Amber want? Oh, this one's really cool. Yeah, I think I'm just doing a separate series. They said I can pick any one I want. You can also search our brand tech right here at Amazon. It says, I'm delighted to get to know more about you. I'm contacting you on behalf of BandTech, the creative, innovative outdoor watch bands for Garmin and stuff like that, and Apple Watches. We are looking forward to possibility of you becoming a partner. See, a partner, and then they get 5% commission and all that other fun stuff. And then they said I can pick any band I want, but I have to find the band, because if we go to here, they said to go to Amazon. So that's going to be like an Easter egg hunt right there, like finding the right band for my watch. I already have a band. I'm not into bands, to be honest with you, but hey, for the sake of more exposure. So now I just have to pick and choose. I don't even have to buy anything anymore. Like, not that I did, you know, but a lot of the videos on the channel were just created because I didn't know how to use the shit I already had. And when you go to the Facebook forums, they're like, read the manual. And then they'd be like, oh my god, they make a cool video. And that's how the channel started. But anyway, look, this one looks pretty good. 22 millimeter, and it's for the Garmin watch. That looks, I think, wow. First click, and I get the band I'm looking for. Maybe. I don't want to take apart my watch, to be honest with you, even though I like that one. I'd rather do one, if this came similar to the one that I have. Oh, look at that. I wish Garmin did that. Look, it has like a little thing underneath there so that you can just pull the tab and remove the watch. Maybe this one, maybe, I don't know, but I'd rather get something similar to what I have so that it just goes through the holes. I don't want to take it apart unless this thing comes out. Oh no, it's built into the watch, and then I could just use that. So I'd probably do something like, oh no, they all come out. I don't know, I have to do research like they said. They said pick one. Oh, look, they have some for Apple Watches too. So yeah, oh wow, that's expensive though. The Apple Watch is expensive, and it only lasts like 2 or 3 days. The Garmin, how many days do I got left? 21 days. Yeah, you can't make that up. But yeah, that one seems okay. Anyway, I got to do research on that. But I don't put them in here, right, into like the project management tool until they confirm it's been sent. Raveman's been sent. Deslock's been sent. New lock, which is really cool. I'll have to read up on that. I usually do it at the last minute, and they're all the same. Once you have one Deslock, you know, you're pretty much, except one they sent without a handle to open the door. And we know that this is from, see, hey there, welcome back guys. This video is a special thanks to Elowin. If I can't pronounce the name, I'll be like, hey there, this video is special thanks to the folks at Deslock. See, it sounds more fluid. I think anyone can say Deslock, right? I'm like Elowin or Eloween, and then sometimes they're like, it's Eloween, not Elowin, and then I have to do a voiceover, and I'm like Elowin. And that's why when you record the video, you want to do room tone, so silence, record for 5 seconds, and then now we say Elowin, so that it sounds like the same environment. So if you're outside, you do the same thing too. You record tone so that you can get the environment, so that when you do a voice over, it doesn't come in very flat. And sometimes I've had to do that a couple of times, but not because I couldn't pronounce your name. I'd be like, hey, this video is special thanks to Wendy, and then all of a sudden it came from Ellen. I was like, fuck, and I had the whole video finished. And anyway, that's another story. But yeah, so then I had to do the voiceover, which Final Cut lets you do. This one, I forget who this is from. Diana. Yeah, see, it's just so hard to keep track of all these names. And as you can see, you're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different emails a week from all these different people, and you got to manage it, you know. And then there's radio silence, and then you don't know if it's coming. Then when it comes, you're like, oh shit, who sent this again? Oh, like, oh, what do they want? And then I like the fact that they give creative freedom though. And as you can see, a lot of these products are expensive, because there are some YouTubers that they work with, and strictly you got to do scripts, and that's because that's how they started out. Can you imagine me doing a script? Yeah, it's got like a alpha thing, and I just like to let it flow. You know, I'll read it, study it for the night, and then sometimes I may have to do a couple of takes, but not because I didn't remember what it was, because I'll fumble over like a word or something, and then I'll just like, damn it, or you just keep on talking. So if I messed up, and then I'll just continue on and say, oh yeah, it's got the little tab thingy right there, and then I'll say, oh yeah, it's got this little sticker, and then just keep doing different reiterations of the recording, so that you're like, oh, I like that version of that, right? So you just keep on going, and then you just edit it out, and then you have 3 versions of this, kind of like the news, 3 versions of the same thing you said 4 or 5 times, which is great. And that is pretty much it. It looks like the multimeter, I think, shut off, hopefully. And who do I have to do next? I think that's it. Can't wait for the Deslock to come though. This is a nice one right here. because I'll be able to, and they sent me a lock that I installed in the kitchen, but I can't open it from the kitchen. I can only lock myself in the kitchen, or someone can lock you in the kitchen. So I think this one will go where that one is. So, except, yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer. This is what they're doing with their locks now. So a lot of the newer locks can only be opened from one side. So like, how do I get out? So it's only good for the experience. Some of them, not all of them. It's only good for the experience of leaving. So if I'm leaving, I'll have this lock the garage, right? But if someone's home, now they can't get out because they can't unlock it. So clearly, I have no idea what happened there because it wasn't like that before. But it looks like they're putting new batteries in, which is great. Because I've had to I spent like freaking I don't know, $50 on batteries. I was in a search of holy grail of batteries just to find the right batteries that work with this, and I found these Power Owl batteries that last about 6 to 7 months, whereas Energizers last about 2 to 3 weeks, Duracell 2 to 3 weeks, rechargeables maybe a week, and then finally there's one particular battery, and they took that into consideration, and now they came up with their own. So that should be interesting to see too. Or they have some self-charging models too. So that'll be really cool to see that, but I have to make sure we have who it's from. Halloween. I'll probably say welcome back. No, this video special thanks to the folks at Deslock, because sometimes the content creator manager or employee, you know, their job is based on their performance. So if I say, hey, thanks, this video special thanks to Halloween, they might say, oh, she's not here anymore. She left. And there was someone else I used to work with in Deslock. They're like, oh, she's not there anymore. And or sometimes they all share the same email. So you have to be careful with that. You know, sometimes just say, this video's special thanks to the folks, because a lot of those positions are, you know, contingent upon your content creator making the video go viral, and be like, that's it, just 24 views, we sent him a $500 lock, you're fired, you know, like that. And then they're like, she's not there anymore. And I tell them that ahead of time. I tell them straight up, I said, look, you know, your video's not gonna go viral, it's not gonna get thousands of views, it might get 24 or 25, but I can guarantee you'll get over 10,000 views once it's converted into a short. And, you know, thankfully, because we were like doom scroll nation, so I can guarantee. And if you look at my videos, my shorts do great. It's just the long form content, because no one has the patience for that anymore. The only downside is sometimes they'll be like, hey, can you make a short, a dedicated short, meaning like they don't want the Opus clip. Like all my shorts are from Opus clip, and as you can see here, 161, 612, 340, 435, 155, and then we have, sometimes we get the 1K, 734, see 1,700 and 700, and that's just from one video that was broken up into little snippets. So that video, their main video that only got 24 views, is now cumulative of like 10,000 or 20,000 if you do the math, add them cumulative. Remember, it means all the videos. So once they understood that, sometimes they might ask and say, hey, can you do a designated short? Which I did one for Deslock. I think I did a 3-minute short on how to install the lock. So, but it took like an hour to install, and then another like 2 hours to edit the video, because I didn't use Opus Clip to make the short. Let me see if we have Deslock. Deslock. There's a short. Yeah, this is it right here. So the short got, see, look, 3,100 and 100K views. And because no one has attention span, that's the problem. Wait, I gotta watch video for 20 minutes? Nah. See, in the main video, got 310 views. So a lot of the collaborators, or whatever they're called, collaboration people, are seeing this, and now they're asking for dedicated shorts like this, where it's a short, and it shows you how to do everything you need to do in less than 3 minutes. See?
2 keys, 2 key fobs, deadbolt strike, enter.
So you got to do it like that, and that's the hardest part, because you have a freaking 1 hour recording that you got to make into 3 minutes. I admire the folks that do this, though. It's hard. But if you start doing stuff like that, then that's what's going to be expected of you. I tell them I'll give you shorts, but you're going to get it from Opusclip, because I know how much time that this takes. But I said you could pay me $300 and I'll be more than happy to do this. So yeah, that's the other part. Like, once you set the expectations, but we'll save that for another video. And that is pretty much it. Kind of neat, huh? We make these videos so you don't have to. I'm thinking of doing like we have 3D print of the week. We have how to solder for beginners. We have FPV indoors. We have our collaborative videos, right? Where we show you the stuff before we make the video. And then I'm thinking of doing like another one, right? And then we have the flights. We stream our live flights. I'm thinking of doing another one of like Let's Make a Deal or something, so you guys can see my YouTube collaborations. You know, like see what's happening, what's coming out, and help you guys with other ideas and stuff. You know, and then when you're done here, let's say I'm done with the Deslock video, I click it and then I drag it to done. No, not done, videos to edit. And then I know which ones need to be edited, but it's not done yet. This is really cool, and it's free. I love free. See, and I just wish they sent a sander, but I'm gonna put all my, and I put my heart and energy the same. If they send me a pencil, I put the same energy and enthusiasm and detail into making that video. You know, you just have to just be. Everyone gets dished out the same experience when it comes to like the you know, what's put into the video, because you never know. And some of these companies, like let's say Ultrasonic Wireless Cutter, are subsidized by other companies as a parent company, so they have more than one product. So let's say the folks at Ravemen can be owned by another third-party company, or sometimes they pimp out the collaborator, or whatever it's called, the marketing person. And so the marketing person not only has access to Ravemen products, they have maybe access to Garmin, maybe they have access to DJI products, not DJI, but the odds of that. DJI has their own department for that. But you know, they have access to other things. So sometimes when I see something I like, I say yes, but if there's something I don't like, I say no. And I'm like, hey, maybe you have something else. And that's happened a couple of times where like, we have this. And like, oh wow, I didn't know you had, because apparently the marketing person is campaigning for other products too. So don't close the door. Sometimes I delete I'm so inundated with emails. I only reply to the ones that I think might have other products. Because as you can see, my inbox is so full every week that I have to clean it out. For stuff, and I have to check, you know, and sometimes I'm like, oh, that looks cool, and sometimes I delete it reluctantly. I'm like, should I have replied to them? Should I have not replied? Maybe I missed other opportunities, and then I'll get silence for 1 week. I'm like, I guess it's a dry spell, and then all of a sudden I get all these freaking emails like, oh, so it's not bad after all. And then I'm like, okay, even though it's not a bad product, I'm gonna reply back and tell them, no, but you know, keep the options open. And then when you do that, it's weird. Then more email comes in. It's weird. I don't know. Maybe they're all connected with each other. But then you become popular. That's another thing. So we have another Starlink thing coming. But again, I didn't put it in the management tool, because sometimes you'll say yes and nothing will come. But I replied back to them. So, you know, don't get attached to it. Be like, oh my God, I'm going to get that. That's so cool. Until you get a tracking number. And now I can share it, and then you put it in here, and then you got to go back in and be like, okay, now I got to cut and paste the emails and stuff like that. We got sent so many Starlink stuff that I'm okay if that one doesn't come, because sometimes they'll be like, oh, your channel doesn't meet our metrics, and they're like, all right, that's fine, move on. In the beginning, I'd be like, no, it's like bummer, and then it would take a couple of weeks to get another offer. I'm like, oh, I guess nobody likes me. I just want to be loved. Is that wrong? And then it just comes in, and then it just grows. Then you become popular because those network of marketing agents is so small that then they start referring you to other people in the network. Because what happens is, I forget who it was, but anyway, I was working with one marketing company, and the person who was working at that marketing company left, and then they went to go work somewhere else, and I guess they took their Rolodex with them, or as in today you would say contact information. No one uses a Rolodex anymore. They took their contact information with them, and they reached out to me, and they was like, hey, I'm with this company now. And then now everyone in that company knows you, and then basically, it's a small world, sort of, but everything, at the end of the day, everything's made in China, right? So once you start working with one marketing company, and even some of these marketing companies where everything's made in China, sometimes they have companies here in the US. And this one right here, where is it? Theodore Prescott. They didn't reach out to me. I reached out to them because I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. I was like, I want that, but I don't want to pay $200 for it. So I reached out to them because a lot of these websites have affiliate links at the bottom, like come aboard, join our collaborator program, like that. And I rarely do that, but I do it for a couple of things. I did it for Raveman, I did it for these guys, for the Ultrasonic, and I think one other one. And there's one of the things that I like. DJI, but DJI, DJI, they have strict, you need to get over 10,000 or more per video view, or there's like a requirement, not like 700 here, 1,000 there, not an accumulative of 20,000 videos on one campaign. The DJI, you have to have thousands of views per video going out before they want to talk to you, which is fine. But there are other ways around it, backdoors, but everything's banned with DJI now anyway. So again, don't put all your eggs in one basket. As you can see, I do a variety of things. We do drones, we do soldering, we do this and that. And so that we have a plethora of solicitations happening from all different things. Maybe they'll send you a lamp, etc. But again, I only do collaborations for stuff I know I could use forever. You get the idea. And then just put it in your channel. But this is the hardest one, making a video like that. There's your D lock, and then that is pretty much it. No TFRs now. Oh, that's so cool. Look, check out Tom's flight. Oh wow. Oh, that's not Tom's flight, that's my flight. Yeah, no TFRs. That's an old flight though. When was that one? That's a YouTube short. I don't know, it doesn't say. Oh, this guy's really good. Eye in the Sky. He does tactical stuff. He trains like I met him. Really cool guy. We were supposed to fly, but I didn't have the car. Probably in September I'll fly with him because I have the kids calling. I got to drop them off somewhere for camp and things like that. So it's not going to happen until they go to school. But I can't wait to try this out. And he invited me too. And his videos get lots of views too. But yeah, we'll check that out. And then that's it. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Now I think I'll probably start another series. I hope it doesn't rain. Hope it doesn't rain. And yeah, the end. That's all she wrote. I hope that this video helped you. I'll have to see how this works out. Hopefully, it doesn't continue to glitch out. I'm gonna turn it on again. Hopefully it auto shuts off. And that is it. Tomorrow we have 3D print of the week. We're gonna paint it and maybe finish printing out the logos and names and stuff. Later when I get back after work, I have to work early tomorrow, but I'll be back after. And Hope that this video helped you. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below, or ideas for other videos. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next time. All right. This last one. This is a special thanks to Swedish Forge for sending us and creating this song just for you.
My name's How to Buy Lou, that's what they call me online. Everything that glitches, yeah, that channel's mine. Got filaments spinning in the middle of the night. Multicolor magic in the printer's light. Lego on the floor and slippers on my feet. In my little basement where the air hums to the beat. Alexa turns the lights off when I say goodnight, but I'm still wide awake watching layers stack just right. Layer by layer, watch it come alive. Plastic dreams keeping this country boy high. Hear that motor singing like a late night bar in a basement room. I'm a backyard star. I'm How to Buy Lou and I'm a rock star. Basement stage, but I'm dreaming big and far. Blue plaid night shirt, sweatpants, guitar. Yeah, I'm building my fame from a filament jar. Market gas, Swedish Forge, front row every night. Glowing in the comments like a neon light. On YouTube, we're riding the stream. Small town channel, big time dream. I'm How to Buy Lou, I'm a rock star. My name's How to Buy Lou, that's what they call me online. Everything that glitches, yeah, that channel's mine. Got filaments spinning in the middle of the night. Multicolor magic in the printer's light. Lego on the floor and slippers on my feet. In my little basement where the air hums to the beat. Alexa turns the lights off when I say goodnight, but I'm still wide awake watching layers stack just right. Layer by layer, watch it come alive. Plastic dreams keeping this country boy high. Hear that motor singing like a late night bar in a basement room. I'm a backyard star. I'm How to Buy Lou and I'm a rock star. Basement stage, but I'm dreaming big and far. Blue plaid night shirt, sweatpants, guitar. Yeah, I'm building my fame from a filament jar. Market gas, Swedish Forge, front row every night. Glowing in the comments like a neon light. On YouTube, we're riding the stream. Small town channel, big time dream. I'm How to Buy Lou, I'm a rock star. Printer running hot at full speed every day. Multicolor layers stacking my way. Lego scattered on the ground. Country boy tech with a plastic sound. When I'm not printing, I'm flying my drone up in the sky where I feel at home. I'm a drone nerd, yeah, I roam around, buzzing through the fields with that freedom sound. Ventilation blowing straight into my mic. Can't read the chat, but I'm feeling alright. Maybe someday I'll slow it down. Catch every comment from this little town. I'm How to Buy Lou and I'm a rock star. Live in that basement boulevard. Market guy and Swedish Forge in the dark. Lighting up the stream like a neon bar. Subscribing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hit that button, keep the dream alive. I'm How to Buy Lou, I'm a rock star. Yeah, I know I miss a comment line. Scrolling too fast, but I'm trying to shine. From America to wherever you are, we're building this channel like a brand new car. Filament dreams and a drone in the sky. Basement king and I don't know why, but every single stream feels right. Clap your hands if you love 3D. Clap your hands if you're nerd like me. Slippers on and a printer hum. Basement life, but we're number one. Hey, hey, yeah, we're number one. I'm How to Buy Lou and I'm a rock star. Printer glow like a lucky star. Blue plaid shirt and a